Tonight on News 22.
Another sexual assault report has come to light at NMSU.
The two candidates for New Mexico governor have different views on just about everything.
And Andrea Vasquez takes a deep dive into a buggy investigation.
All that and more on News 22 Wednesday.
Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Garcia Moreno.
And I'm Melissa Tejas. The police at New Mexico State University are sending out another report of sexual assault.
This is the third time in the past few weeks. The NMSU police say the latest incident happened on October 6th inside a dorm room on the Las Cruces campus. Police say a student was sexually assaulted by an acquaintance who's also believed to be a student. The suspect has been identified. The report reiterates that when it comes to sexual activity, no means no. Consent should never be assumed or inferred and can be withdrawn at any time. Las Cruces police have arrested Las Cruces man suspected of having sexual inappropriate contact with a teenage girl. 40-year-old Kevin Mickle is charged with 3 felony counts of criminal sexual contact of a minor. Police say the 17-year-old told of 3 times Mickle assaulted her. They say they found texts and emails between Mickle and the girl's mother that proved allegations were true. He's in the Doña Ana County Jail, being held without bond. Michelle Lujan Grisham and Steve Pierce are heating things up heading into the polls. In the most recent gubernatorial debate, Republican candidate Pierce warned that his opponent would return to the pay-to-pay scandal of the Bill Richardson administration. Lujan Grisham responded to the attacks by calling them nonsense. She accused Pierce of cooperating with President Trump in starving crucial government programs. This was the candidate's first debate since early voting started on October 9th.
Republican Pierce is being criticized for not releasing complete tax returns. Pierce has published summary pages of his 2017 tax returns showing his finances as a congressman and former oil field entrepreneur. It shows his adjusted gross income was $431,000, which includes his $124,000 congressional salary. The Democratic candidate Michelle Lujan Grisham posted 5 years of lengthier tax returns in late May. New Mexico does not require candidates to release these tax returns. The Texas election is heating up as Election Day draws closer. Representative Beto O'Rourke and incumbent Senator Ted Cruz met for their second debate last night in San Antonio, Texas. The hour-long debate covered a wide variety of topics, including climate change, border control, health care, and the Me Too movement. In response to the Me Too movement, O'Rourke says he believes all people should be treated with respect. And Cruz says the Me Too movement has done incredible things for the country.
Behind sure that we're more than just talk. We have to have actions that follow this up. We've got to make sure that, for example, when we're talking about women, we're talking about equal pay for equal work. When we're talking about women, we talk about ensuring that they can make their own decisions about their own bodies and have access to the health care that allows them to do that.
Sexual assault is wrong, sexual harassment is wrong, and we've seen in recent months powerful men in Hollywood, powerful men in politics, powerful men in journalism, powerful men in business called to account for abominable behavior. I believe everyone, women and men, girls and boys, need to be protected, need to be treated with dignity.
Look at the Political Action Committee contributions.
Both O'Rourke and Cruz are in support of separate legislation to address sexual violence. Texas midterm elections are November 6th. So it's been really chilly lately.
I've had to bring out my winter jackets.
Vicky is next with our first look at weather.
This is Victoria Valderrama with your current conditions. Right now, Las Cruces is under cloudy skies with a temperature of 53 degrees. Winds are picking up coming from the southeast at 11 miles per hour. Our humidity is at 67%, our dew point at 40 degrees, and our barometer sits at 30.21 inches. Today in Las Cruces, we did wake up to a low of 46. The average for this day is 78 degrees, so we are well below that at 60 degrees. Traveling back in time, in 2003, we had an all-time high of 89 degrees, and in 1966, we had an all-time low of 33 degrees, believe it or not. Today, we had no rain, so our yearly rainfall stays at 3.77 inches. That's all I have for your current conditions. Back to Alyssa and Kelly at the desk.
2 people are dead after an airplane crash at an airport in Albuquerque. The plane went down northwest of Route 66 Casino on Tuesday around 4:30 p.m. Albuquerque Fire Rescue spokesman Tom Ruiz says the plane was planning to land at the Double Eagle 2 airport when the pilot called in to say that the aircraft wasn't going to make it. The pilot reported encountering icing on the plane and loss of engine power shortly before the crash. They are the people we are supposed to rely on when we need help or in any kind of danger. But lately, people haven't been so trusting of the law enforcement.
Michaela Romero has a story from the perspective of a police officer.
This is what most of every working day looks like for Albuquerque police officer Anthony Andolina. Albuquerque is ranked among the most violent cities in New Mexico and ranks in the top 5 in the U.S. He knows the risks of being a police officer, but he feels it's what he's supposed to do.
I wanted to do something that gave back to the community.
And he says most of his fellow officers are in it for the same reason. Andolina says many of the negative perceptions of police come from video that doesn't show the whole story.
Getting the story out first without all the evidence and all the facts.
He says police officers are human and just trying to do a job.
I like helping kids. Obviously, that's why I kind of chose this profession also, because I like to deal with public. I like to talk to people.
Like spouses of police officers, Stephanie Andolina worries about his safety and also worries with his long hours, he misses out on family life.
He has to work extra shifts on his days off, and then they have to work nights now that they wouldn't have had to work before. And so it does keep him away from the family and also holidays.
And when he's not on duty or on call, Officer Andolina is out here helping coach his son's football team.
Look at those hops!
I want to watch him grow up. My oldest son, I was always working, so I didn't really get to be involved in a lot of his activities because I was working the overtime, like I stated.
Andolina hopes people can see the good police do to help protect their families while he is away from his. Michaela Romero, News 22.
The Las Cruces Police Department would like to remind residents that the operation of ATVs or all-terrain vehicles is not permitted on city streets. Although some residents may believe they are street legal, the department would like to remind you that other than being illegal, there are many safety violations that come with riding an ATV on the street.
So we're trying to get the message out. They're not legal, and quite frankly, they're not that safe because many of them don't have the turn signals, they don't have headlights, they don't have a windshield, other things like that that would make a vehicle safe to be on the roadway.
Stay tuned. Vicky will be back with your national forecast.
But first, Andrea Vasquez takes a look at a local apartment complex dealing with some nasty pests. More on that when News 22 continues.
I want young adults to know that the world is a much bigger place than just the spot that they are occupying at this time. And PBS presents that in a very positive manner. I have left my PBS station a gift in my will. I want to be certain the programs presented by PBS are carried forward to future generations.
Registering to vote in New Mexico is easy. Forms are available at Department of Motor Vehicles offices and your county clerk's office. And those with a driver's license or other state ID may register to vote online at sos.state.nm.us. You must be 18 years old at the time of the next election. Voting is a responsibility of citizenship. This message brought to you by KRWG.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Wednesday,
where news matters. When you rent an apartment, you expect certain things to be all right. One expectation is that the apartment doesn't come with bed bugs.
But as Andrea Vasquez reports, if the bugs are there, they're a problem for everybody.
Nope, not even a little bit.
Jacob Vetterplace is an NMSU student who has been living off campus for the past year in the Park Place apartments. But about a month ago, he started waking up with bites and developing rashes. His mattress was filled with bedbugs. The landlord told him the bedbugs started in his apartment and that Jacob would have to pay an exterminator to get rid of them. But Jacob discovered other tenants with the same problem, so he sent the landlord a written complaint.
This whole situation has just been a huge headache because I've had to drop all my classes because I don't have time to focus on school because I have to deal with this. I've started moving my stuff out because I don't want to live here anymore. I don't want to live in a place where my landlord is not going to take care of me.
I've been living here for about a year, and like the bed bugs came like, I don't know, like 2 months ago, like 3 months ago, from like what I know. Like we didn't always have them, but they came.
Really?
Hmm?
Did you have them in your mattresses?
Yeah, I got a whole new mattress at one point, yeah.
I contacted the Park Place Apartments property manager, Rhonda Berryman. She told me she was not aware of any bedbug problem in the apartments. She stated, if we had an issue, we would have taken care of it. Then, in a letter dated October 11th, Berryman said the exterminator believes Jacob's apartment is the origin of the bugs and that he and his roommates are liable to pay $775 to the Park Place Apartments.
For more understanding of the state law pertaining to household, tenant, and landlord problems, I talked to a student legal aid attorney at NMSU.
Carl Reisted brought out law books stating what the statutes say about housing in Las Cruces.
It says the owner shall substantially comply with requirements of the applicable minimal housing codes materially affecting health and safety. Okay, the second part is that the landlord or the owner shall make repairs and do whatever is necessary to put and keep the premises in a safe condition.
But as far as Jacob is concerned, the situation is over. This weekend he paid $225 for part of the exterminator fee, and the management agreed to let him out of the rest of his lease. I'm Andrea Vasquez with News 22.
I wonder if cities around the country are facing this cold chill like we are.
I wonder if they've even gotten snow. Vicky's next with our weather.
Thanks, Alyssa. So we have been following the heavy rain in central Texas, and it is not looking pretty. This video we are watching here was taken in McLennan County, and they are looking at flooded roads, and those rivers and streams are rising daily. Other parts of central Texas are dealing with those same problems as well as bridges collapsing. If you have family out in those parts of Texas, make sure they are safe inside their homes. We're going to take a look at our national maps now. Good news is we are no longer going to see tropical cyclones for the next 5 days. And this is a big deal because this year alone we've had 16 named storms, 5 to 9 being hurricanes and 1 to 4 being major Category 3 hurricanes. And so we are well above average this year. But now we're going to look at my next map at this 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook. Now, hurricane season didn't start until August 28th, and it all started here in Africa and made its way up, and that's when Hurricane Florence formed. Now, we haven't seen any activity, and that's the first time in 50 days. So keep in mind, hurricane season won't be over until November 30th. That's there, but moving on to my next map. We're looking at this temperature outlook from October 24th to the 30th, and Las Cruces is in this light blue shaded area, and that means we are at least 33% below normal temperatures. Unlike up north right here, they're actually above normal temperatures, and that's really odd because they stay cold throughout the entire winter. We are going to talk about New Mexico local temperatures right after this break. Stay tuned, you're watching News 22 Wednesday.
Here and now, NPR News middays, weekday afternoons from noon to 2 on 90.7 FM and streaming live on KRWG.org.
Coming up on Austin City Limits.
Saturday at 9 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
I'm Rick Steves. Join me in Bulgaria, where we'll trace the country's complex history. From ancient Thracian tombs and medieval mountain monasteries to remote monuments to communism, and will also enjoy the contemporary culture found in its cities, from bustling Sofia to cosmopolitan Plovdiv to atmospheric Velika Tarnovo.
Saturday at 8 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
Welcome back. Now looking at temperatures across New Mexico. Farmington is at 51 degrees, Santa Fe at 43, Clovis at 50, Ruidoso at a cold 35 degrees, Roswell at 46, and Deming at 52. Tomorrow in New Mexico, Santa Fe will be at 49, Ruidoso at 46, Roswell at 50, and Deming at 57 degrees. In our neighboring cities, Alamogordo tonight will have cloudy skies at 44 degrees, and tomorrow some rain at 56 degrees. In TRC tonight, cloudy skies with a low of 44 and tomorrow a high of 56. In Silver City tonight, a low of 39 degrees and tomorrow a high of 53 degrees. And in the city of the Cruces tonight, we will have cloudy skies with a low of 46, and tomorrow we'll be expecting some rain at 58 degrees. That's all I have for your local temperatures, but stay tuned. Dave will be back with all your sports action.
A Texas woman and her baby are recovering tonight after a frightening accident.
Marlene Barraza has today's Southwest Minute.
The mother and baby were rescued from a lake after a car accident Sunday night when the car went through an intersection and plunged into a lake. Two men saw the woman struggling and stepped in to help. The mother, baby, and father were checked out by emergency officials and are expected to be okay. One person is dead after a plane accident in Arizona. No one knows what caused the plane to crash into a house, killing the pilot. 40 people were injured in a California bus crash on Sunday. The accident happened on the 405 freeway in the North Hills area. 25 victims were taken to the hospital. 5 of them had serious injuries. It's unclear what caused the crash. I'm Marlene Barraza for the Southwest Minute.
Las Cruces Music Festival is coming to Las Cruces October 19th through the 21st. Parking for the festival will be at the Mag, Boss, and Hardy Ball Fields. October 18th, Hadley Avenue North Hermosa Street to North Walnut Street will be closed until midnight. October 21st. Friday, October 19th, Hadley from North Walnut to Solano Avenue will be closed until midnight as well. Please follow all detour and road signs for safety. So I heard an 84-year-old man is still playing the game.
We'll meet him next.
David Guest is next with sports.
Thanks, Alyssa. Coming up in sports, you can toss that remote because you don't want to miss this jam-packed edition of News 22 Sports next.
Next time on Two for the Road. Our epic Costa Rican adventure continues.
Let's start right now.
With plenty of tasty grub.
Good Costa Rican grub, and we love it.
Plenty of adorable wildlife.
Feeding time for the baby sloths. I mean, how can you get any better than that?
And maybe a little splash of high drama. Y'all grab a chair or grab onto something, because it's going to be a heck of a ride. Is there a movie on this flight?
Saturday at 7:30 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
I didn't quite dream, but it all seemed to be real. I had a vague memory of something long and dark with red eyes, just as we saw in the sunset. My soul seemed to go out from my body and float about the air.
Tune in for Dracula, a radio drama you can see.
Saturday at 10 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm David Guest, back again with the best sports news in the Southwest. A man who's been all the buzz in Las Cruces this week has a story to be told. I got to catch up with him to tell it.
Just to keep it. Let's let it extend on out. Okay.
This 84-year-old has been golfing for 72 years. He's not competing anymore, but he still takes the time with young golfers to share his knowledge. Wimberly grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Quickly, he got onto the course.
I started when I was 12, and I'd go to the golf course with my father and caddy the bag a little while, then I'd get tired and he'd run me off. I played high school golf, and I played 4 years at UNM. Yeah, I went to UNM in the or 53 to 57. Played 4 years on the golf team and won some tournaments in college golf, and then was away from golf for 2 years and came back, and I worked as the assistant professional at UNM for 3.5 years, and then the people at New Mexico State were considering building a golf course, and they came up to UNM and talked to me, and I came down here in '62 and been here ever since.
It's another beautiful Saturday morning, and what that means for pro golf management students here at New Mexico State is free golf lessons from Herb Wimberly. In 1988, Herb and his brother founded the Pro Golf Management Program at New Mexico State.
They're in the College of Business. They're getting a marketing degree and a professional golf management certificate when they complete all their work.
Current PGM director Pat Gavin says he owes everything to Herb, who got him into the game as a sport and a career. He went on to say Wimberly is the most positive person I've ever known.
I'm 84, but I'm still feel like I'm 60 or something.
And more than Herb could ask for, these pro golf management students love what they learn from Herb, look forward to every Saturday morning, and they'll be looking forward to many more to come. The former University of New Mexico athletic director, Paul Krebs, is being investigated for possible money laundering, fraud, and embezzlement. According to the Albuquerque Journal, the State Attorney General's office served a search warrant on Krebs' credit card company. Authorities are trying to determine whether Krebs made a $25,000 donation to cover the school's loss on a 2015 Scotland fundraising golf trip. The university has never publicly revealed the source of the donation, even though they have been questioned numerous times. Zach Lofton has converted his training camp contract to a two-way contract with the Detroit Pistons. A two-way contract is when an NBA team reverses 2 of its 17 roster spots for players who will spend most of the season in the NBA G League and can't spend more than 45 days with the NBA team. In 4 of the 5 preseason games for the Pistons, Lofton scored 22 points in 36 minutes. Lofton led New Mexico State in scoring last season, averaging 20.1 points per game. Detroit lacked solid perimeter shooters last season, and Lofton will play an extended role for the offense. Lofton will get his first taste of live NBA action tonight as the Pistons tip off their season against the Brooklyn Nets. And the Hawks are back on top. Centennial will be looking to clinch a District 3 6A championship Friday night against Hobbs. Head coach Aaron Ocampo's team is undefeated with just 2 regular season games left, looking for their first district title since 2015 when they finished runner-up in Class 5A, before jumping to 6A in 2016. Hobbs' pass-first offense is averaging 43 points a game, so the Hawks will likely rely on strong play from their defense that shut out Mayfield last week. And the Centennial football team is not the only undefeated team. The girls' soccer team is undefeated as well. Last night, they defeated Mayfield 3-0 with Kayla Renaud, Jaden Duran, and Sarah Rodriguez scoring the Hawks 3 goals. Centennial is now 16-0 overall and 9-0 in District 3 5A. Their next game will be tomorrow at 5 p.m. against Las Cruces. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Vicki will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, a special religious book is up for auction, and you'll never guess who it belonged to. More on that when News 22 returns.
This marriage is nothing more than a financial transaction.
Sir Percival's debts were enormous. I have nothing to offer you but my heart and my hand.
You know something about Sir Percival. He has done terrible things, and he will do worse.
Sunday at 9 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
Antiques Roadshow delivers an hour of discovery and fun from Santa Clara, California.
That's amazing. Takes my breath away, really.
Oh my gosh.
Next time from Santa Clara on Antiques Roadshow.
Monday at 7 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
No.
You want to have the top stories in the script or prompting?
A Jewish prayer book once owned by legendary model and actress Marilyn Monroe is going up for auction next month. The president of J. Greenstein and Company Auction House says a prayer book like this would normally sell for about $100, but bidding for this one will start at $4,600, possibly selling for between $7,000 and $12,000. This book also has annotations in the margins, but it's not known if Monroe or someone else wrote them. Monroe converted to Judaism in 1956 when she married playwright Arthur Miller.
Wow, that's really interesting.
I actually did some plays in high school by Arthur Miller. It was really cool.
Ooh,
that's fun. Vicky, are those cooler temperatures sticking around, or is it getting warmer?
Yeah, that's right. We are going to be staying cool. Tomorrow we are expecting a high of 58 with some cloudy skies, and there will be some showers here and there. Friday, a high of 69. It gets a little bit warmer, but we are still seeing those cloudy skies. And Saturdays, we start to see that sun creep out, and we'll be in the lows at night. So don't put that jacket away because it's going to be pretty cold.
Yeah. And don't forget,
you can catch all today's air stories and area news on our website, krwgnews22.com. If you have a comment or story idea, click on the Contact News 22 button. And follow us on Twitter and Facebook for breaking news, alerts, and show teases. And that's all for News 22 Wednesday. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Tune in tomorrow night I'm Kelly Garcia Moreno.
I'm Melissa Tejas.
And I'm Victoria Valderrama. Good night.
Good night.
This news brief en español is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for Southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Y bienvenidos a este breve informativo de Noticias 22. Francisco Soto con ustedes. El Departamento de Policía de las Cruces necesita su ayuda para identificar al sospechoso que disparó varias veces hacia un complejo de apartamentos. El viernes pasado por la noche, la policía de las Cruces respondió a una llamada de disparos en los apartamentos The Verge, en la esquina de la avenida Unión y Stern. Oficiales llegaron al lugar y encontraron a uno de los edificios con señales de múltiples balas. Los investigadores creen que el tirador huyó de los apartamentos a pie. Si usted tiene información que pueda ayudar a identificar al sospechoso, favor de llamar alto al crimen de las Cruces. El número aparece en su pantalla. En otras noticias, en Florida, el huracán Michael aumentó fuerza y tocó tierra en el noroeste del estado. El huracán de categoría 4 llegó a Florida cerca de la ciudad de Panamá alrededor después de 1 de la tarde. Vientos de más de 100 millas por hora se registraron en el huracán. El huracán Michael es la tormenta más fuerte que ha llegado a los Estados Unidos desde el huracán Andrew en 1992. También es el huracán más fuerte en tocar el brazo de terreno de Florida en la historia del estado. Gracias por su atención. Para Noticias 22, Francisco Soto.